Okay, what's up YouTube? This is J-Man Time, and today I have another video for you guys today. Today's weapon is a rare prototype underwater assault rifle / light machine gun. This weapon was designed by the Soviet Union, and it goes by the name the AG-026. The AG-026 is an underwater amphibious light machine gun / assault rifle or squad automatic weapon. The weapon was designed between 1971 and 1972. The weapon was chambered for a rare underwater specialty cartridge, the 5.65 by 39mm special underwater cartridge. The weapon has a magazine capacity. It is fed by a drum magazine and has a capacity of between 50 and 100 rounds. The rate of fire of this weapon varies between 400 and 700 rounds per minute. That's an estimate because there is no information on the actual rate of fire of this weapon. And this weapon it seems to be based on the AK-74, or at least the AK-74 pre-production prototypes. Now, about 2 years ago, I did a video on Russian underwater assault weapons. And in that video, I went over various other Soviet-era underwater weapons developed by the Soviet Union. That included weapons like the SPP-1 quadruple barrel specialty underwater pistol, the APS amphibious assault rifle, the AFM 199H underwater assault rifle, the AFM-DT Sea Lion underwater assault rifle, and the more modern post-Soviet era ADS model underwater assault rifle from 2009-2013. Now, all of these weapons, the latter weapons, are pretty known. You know, these are weapons that are pretty much known in the firearms world. But this AG-026 is a rarity. You know, now according to the document or the website / the documentation I got the information on this weapon on, it was based on another prototype underwater assault weapon which I haven't found yet or any images of yet. That weapon was called the AG-022, and it was developed in 1970, a year prior. So this AG-026 is pretty much a modification or an upgrade to that weapon. So I need to find some images of that weapon eventually, but it's kind of hard because I can't find any. I've been going on various Russian historical archive sites and other declassified websites, or websites that declassify Soviet experimental weapons designed during the Cold War, but I still can't find any photographs of the AG-022. So for now, the AG-026 is the one I have. And again, this seems to have been based on the AK-74 / AK-74 pre-production prototypes. Now, during the Cold War, designers like Mikhail Kalashnikov came up with the AK-74, but he went through a variety of different prototypes. And it wasn't just Kalashnikov, there were a bunch of other designers, including Sergei Semenov, the guy who designed the SKS rifle. So this AG-026 is just one of the AK-74 derivatives that you rarely hear of. Now, this weapon is both an assault rifle, an underwater assault rifle, and an underwater machine gun, as it is fed by a box-type drum magazine. Now, as I mentioned, that drum magazine has at least 50 to 100 rounds. And so this is basically like the APS on steroids, you know. The APS underwater assault rifle only carries 26 rounds in its magazine, and this one carries about 50 to 100 rounds in its drum magazine. But it is unknown if this weapon was ever, issued, ever adapted. So far, it's only listed as an experimental or a prototype weapon. But keep in mind, during the Cold War, the Soviets did use some of their prototype weapons or they at least gave them to their allies to be used on the field, to be live fired, or to be used in actual military conflicts. Like during the Vietnam War, many AK derivatives were tested by the North Vietnamese army and the Viet Cong. And China also did the same thing. They developed many recoilless guns and anti-tank weapons that were tested in Vietnam also. So it is unknown if this AG-026 was ever tested in combat, but just the fact that I found this weapon is good enough, I guess. I mean, it is one of the rare underwater weapons designed during the Cold War. And keep in mind, during the Cold War, it wasn't just the Soviet Union. You also had countries like West Germany, the United States, and a few other countries that designed underwater firearms. So the AG-026 is just one of dozens upon dozens of limited production or experimental underwater firearms that was designed during the Cold War. Now that I know about the AG-022, I guess I have to redo this video on Soviet underwater weapons and my other video on underwater weapons as a whole, because now I see that there are many other prototype underwater firearms that are just now being declassified over the last decade that I didn't realize until I come across this weapon. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were other American and NATO underwater assault weapons that were designed too. I'm just surprised that that neither side developed any underwater anti-armor weapons, handheld weapons, Just imagine if they developed an underwater bazooka or rocket launcher or RPG or something like that. So yeah, the AG-026, a underwater assault rifle / light machine gun that seems to have been patterned after the AK-74, or the, when I say AK-74, I mean the long-barreled version, not the AK-74U. And I know a lot of people, when they think of AK-74, they think of the short carbine version, but the AK-74 is actually, a standard-sized assault rifle. And this weapon here is like I won't say a 100% standard size, but it is very close to the size of the APS underwater rifle, except this one is more of a machine gun or a drum-fed weapon rather than a standard clip-fed weapon or magazine-fed weapon. So what do you all think of the AG-026? Put your comments and opinions in the comment section below. And until next time, this was J-Man Time signing off.